Just making sure this is working. Hold on. Okay, it's working. Alright, so usually at around night, I'm gonna try to make this a little earlier. We're gonna kind of do these streams more on a regular basis. So right now we're just gonna be starting web development. We kind of covered a little bit of programming and stuff, but now we're just gonna get into web development because what we're gonna be doing is what I'm gonna be doing is creating the MVCap website and kind of build it along the way. But that's kind of thinking too far ahead for now. But for today, we're gonna get into the very beginning of web development. As far as like these streams, I think that what we should do is maybe make it that it would be the stream and have like a panel after for questions or at some other time. But I was thinking that, but I was thinking of making it stream panel, but I don't know. However we're gonna do it. So starting off, what is HTML? This is web development. What is HTML? If you might not know, stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Let's see Wikipedia's definition. Hypertext Markup Language is a standard markup language for all documents designed to be displayed in a web browser. It can be assisted by technologies such as CSS. Yep. Describe the structure of a web page. So we're gonna get into this right now. I just want to open something here. Hold on. I'm just gonna I'm gonna open up a text document. One moment. So if anyone is following along, I'm gonna have instructions. Hold on. So all you're gonna need, here's what you're gonna need, is you're gonna need a. So if you ever use the app, not the app, but the program Notepad, I'm gonna show that right now. So this is it. You can type anything. This is just a notepad. You can just write anything on it. I just want to make sure that's popping up. But here's what I want you to type. This is just a regular notepad. Actually, the name's weird. I have to change the name there. Oh. Never mind. Actually, never mind. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Just opening up a regular notepad. And you don't need to know too much. We're going to explain as we go along. But this is how to make an HTML document, which is basically like the very beginning building block of creating a website. So right here, this alone. So I'm going to save it. Save as. I just titled it Hello World. You actually can't see when I save it on OBS, but if you can see what I'm seeing, it's a text document called Hello World, right? And after, put a .html. And actually, I just want to show this if I can. Is this Windows Capture? Just one moment. Yeah, so this is what you're seeing. Okay, one moment. So whatever it is you're gonna name it, you can name it anything. But we're just gonna call it hello world.html, and then save as type all files. That is all you need to do. So hello world, like whatever you name it, all files, right? And now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to open up, like wherever it's saved. I saved it on the desktop, but I'm gonna open it up. Alright, so I'm going to show you that. Just one moment. Still here. Alright, right here. Hello world.html. So if you look right here, that is the HTML document. That's literally it. That's a website, basically. And that's by 2 lines of code. So going back to that, so it's right here. So we're gonna expand a little bit more on this because it's not really a good website. But this is all that's necessary to make it an HTML document. We're gonna add more to this right now, and I'm gonna explain. So it says head and body. So basically, it's like kind of like building a person almost, but it's as like a head has a body. But it's almost like this actually is kind of like the metadata for describing this. It doesn't really work that way. Where it's like, if anything, this is so for example, I'm gonna put something called a title tag. That'll make sense. A title tag. So whenever you have a web browser, you'll notice there's a name above whatever it's called. So, for this, it'll be like whatever it's called, HTML, hello world.html, and maybe this, it says learn to code, whatever it is, that's the title. But let's make our own title. One moment. So let's make our own title. I'll say I'm saying hello to the world. Right here. So now we go back to it. And we're gonna save it. So now, if you look, it doesn't say the file name. It says I'm saying hello to the world. It's saying right above here, kind of. So it's like what describes the file. It makes it the file. So that's what that does. And there's pretty much many other things you can do. You can trying to think of. I guess we could cover a little bit of lists, just a couple stuff, just giving you an idea. But now this is where whatever is in the. Oh, I'm not even showing you the text document. Hold on. One moment. Alright, so this is a text document. So let's work on this a little bit. I'm just going to say my name is Ryan. Just regular text. So what's going to happen? If I save this, my name is Ryan. It shows up. Pretty simple. Now let's expand a little more. Yeah, I'm kind of playing a game with like OBS right now. Actually, just one moment. I just want to make sure I have a mouse to use. Hold on. Probably this is better done with the mouse. Straight here. Yeah. So you have this code. So let's say, I'm going to make a list. I'm going to make list item. List item. Let's see what this does. So, what this is this is a very basic website, but this kind of turns it into, like a list, as if it's like listing it off. And then you can use other things like, you can add an image. Let's try image. I'm just going to find an image. Okay, I'm going to use this image. Yeah, everything will be on the test only for Victor, though. But no. So let's see if this works. Sometimes it doesn't recognize it, but let's just see. All right, so I'm just kind of throwing some things out there. I'm just showing generally how it works. But now we have an image. Before we just had a blank thing, but we kind of started with this HTML documents. But once you have the starter HTML document and the ender HTML document, then you have an HTML. Then you have pretty much a website. You have an HTML document. Going back, we have the title saying I'm saying hello to the world. We have the list item. That's why you can't see the bullet point like it's a list. And if you have an image, so basically the idea is what's around it kind of describes it. So that's pretty much kind of how websites work. Is you'll have your kind of content in between, and then you'll have what describes it. So it'll be an image or a list item, and something like that. So I just kind of want to show generally how it worked. How I'm going to choose to, I guess teach this is go through a course I kind of mostly did, but I'm going to kind of go through it and then kind of use that to explain what I'm doing. So one moment. So this is called Freecodecamp.org, and it's free. Has nothing to do with MCAP or anything. Not sponsored by them or anything. I don't know, but I think that they just have a really good resource where pretty much if you get started, you can go from the very beginning, the very beginning, and then just go into a bunch of advanced topics. So we're just gonna kind of very carefully go through all this together. It's kind of like I already saw this course before, so I can just one moment. Yeah, so I can have familiarity, but I'm gonna explain it as we're going through. So it starts with new responsive web development. In this responsive web design certification, you'll learn the languages that developers use to build web pages, HTML, CSS. We'll learn about CSS. First, you'll build a cat photo app to learn the basics of HTML and CSS. Later, you'll learn modern techniques like CSS variables by building a penguin, and best practices for accessibility by building a quiz site. Finally, you'll learn how to make web pages that respond to different screen sizes by building a photo gallery with Flexbox and a magazine article layout with CSS Grid. So, learn HTML by building a cat photo app. HTML tags give a web page a structure. You can use HTML tags to add photos, buttons, and other elements to your web page. Making sure. Hold on. Is it filming right? Hold on. Yeah. All right. Yeah. By the way, that guy. This is a coding channel. Something I do. It's not like that's pretty much what this is. So it's kind of like a channel where we all are gonna kind of learn together pretty much in code, and then I'm also gonna be eventually developing the website, but I'm gonna be doing it kind of in a live stream, and that's pretty much what this is. But yeah, so how you start? We'll just say start project. All right, so basically it has kind of like what would already be. So it has what the code will be on the left and kind of the result on the right. That's pretty much what this is. So step 1, HTML elements have opening tags like h1 and closing tags like h1 right here. So what this is that's actually called a header. That'll be like if you made this font really big. If you notice on the other one, the font was really small. It was regular size. But here, it's really big. That's because of that h1 tag. The text for an element goes in between its opening and closing tags. Find the h1 element and change its text to cat photo app. So that's all it's asking to do right here. That's pretty simple. So we're going to copy it and change it here. And if it checks out, it'll give you a green light. Congratulations, your code passes. Submit your code to continue. All right. Now, part 2. H1 through 6 are heading elements. Are used to signify the importance of the content below them. The lower the number, the higher the importance. So H2 elements have less importance than H1. Only use one H1 element per page and place lower importance headings. All right. So generally, what all this is saying, is H1 will be the biggest one. So let's say I do. I don't know if it can update in real time, but let's say I do, make this not H1 but H5. It's going to be way smaller. Then H3 is going to be a little bigger. Hold on. Right? H2 is going to be a little bigger than that. Should have updated. Or H1. Now it's the biggest as it would be. So best way I would think about it, is think of when it's H1, it's like number 1 priority. If it's H2, it's number 2 priority. It's gonna be smaller. So that's how it works. But yeah, Victor's hall pass has been pre-approved. But yeah, so below the H1 element, add an H2 element with this text. So this is what it's asking. So you already see this H1 element right here. Right below it, it's saying to make an H2 element with that text. So I'll do this. H2. H2. And type in exactly what it wants me to do. And if I do that, it should give me a green light. So now I'm going to check it. Congratulations, your code passes. Submit your code to continue. Yeah, everything will be on the test. So then submit, go to the next challenge. Alright, the P element. So I'll say right before, that's for paragraphs. Pretty much for regular text, you know. So the P element is used to create a paragraph of text on websites. Create a P element below your H2 element and give it the following text. Okay. So this is going to be the text, and so right below it, right? It wants we got to put the P element in. So that's what that would look like, right there. And it wants this text. Alright, congratulations, your code passes, submit your code to continue. So yeah, it's that easy, where, they kind of just ask you like really small steps, and they have you, build all kinds of things, and yeah, it's a good site. Submit and go to the next one. Step 4, commenting. So we kind of explained how we do comments in Java, but now we're going to there's a different way of saying comments in web development. I mean HTML. And again, the purpose of comments is to make the code understandable to not just the user when it's done, but also to other programmers. So it's kind of like a note explaining what you did, so that if someone, if you're working with someone and then someone sees your code, it's kind of like a footnote to explain what's going on. So let's use comments. Commenting allows you to leave messages without affecting the browser display. Yeah, so anything in a comment, it will not display. It's just a note for the programmer. It allows you to make code interactive. A comment in HTML starts with this and contains any number of lines of text and ends with this. For example, yeah, so let's try this out. Actually, I don't know. I'll just do it right now. So we're making a comment. Let's make a comment. I could say my name is Ryan, right? And you'll notice it doesn't appear. It doesn't appear here. But if I take those things away, if I take it away, then you do see it, and it would disrupt things. So it basically makes it so that you don't see it. So you can have secret notes, that the user can't see, but the programmer can see. So now let's just follow the instruction. Add a comment above the P element. So actually above the P element. Alright, let's try that out. So we're going to make a comment right here. Let's just close the comment before we start it. And we're going to say exactly this. Add a comment above the P element with this text. Alright, we're going to copy it. And we're going to paste it right here. And that should do it. But I want to get rid of my comment because I was just trying to demonstrate. So now it says, congratulations, your code passes, submit your code, because, I just did what it said. One moment. So now we go to the next challenge. HTML5 has some elements that identify different content areas. These elements make your HTML easier to read and help with search engine optimization, SEO, and accessibility. So all that means, so HTML5 is kind of a more advanced version. So it's just a version, basically. That's all it is. And search engine optimization is basically a way that you can, because how search engines work is they use kind of the metadata of web pages, and they scan those web pages, and then that's how they rank websites. So search engine optimization makes it so that you're kind of calculating that metadata to be just right, so that you can, get your websites to be top ranked on search engines. But we're not really going to get to that yet. But that's what it is. So identify the main section of this page by adding a main opening tag after the H1 element. And a main closing after the P element. Alright, so let's do that. So it's going to be after the H1 element. So it's going to be right here. It's going to be a main. After the piece. So okay, hold on, let's see what it's telling me. Oh, so actually okay, so hold on. This is actually supposed to be here. Okay, so I was trying to have this encapsulate all of this. So now all of this is in the main. Or is it after the P element? Your main element's opening tag should have been below the H1 element. Oh, okay, so it wants it open here. Okay. Is that what it wanted me to do? Hold on. Okay, so now this works. So I guess it was a little bit of the instructions, but yeah. So the purpose of it is yeah. So that's HTML5. I late for the encapsulation. Yeah, we're not covering that yet. So now, step 6 right here. It says in the previous step, you put the H2 comment and P elements inside the main element. This is called nesting. So nesting basically just means elements in elements. So nesting elements should be placed 2 spaces further to the right of the element they are nested in. This spacing is called indentation and is used to make HTML easier to read. So here's what that means. Is that best way to describe this? Let's actually just have proper indentation. is this is like, so this is within this, right? And, another way to think of it is, we could have, let's say you want to indent this, then this is nested within this, but it's not really an actual, it's not really an actual element, but, that's really what it would be. So how you can do this is you can just hit the tab button, and it'll do it in this correct order. But it's basically a way to organize it to say that, this is on the next level of this, and that this is within this, pretty much. The H2 element and the comments are indented 2 spaces more. I'll actually unindent that one. More than the main element in the code below. Use a spacebar on your keyboard to add 2 more spaces in front of the P element so that it is indented properly. Alright. So what I think it's asking to add 2 more spaces in front of the P element so that it's working properly, so it's indented properly. Yeah, I'm not sure what it's asking. The opening P tag should have indentation that matches your H2. In the comments elements, its opening tag should start at 6 spaces from where the line, from the start of the line. Just one moment. Yeah, so I think it meant. Yeah, so I think it meant this. Yeah, so just have everything on the next line, pretty much. Submit, now go to the next challenge. So yeah, so this worked. Because, this is pretty much just to organize it, just kind of show that, what is nested within what. So you would indent it to kind of make it readable. So this is step 7. You can add images to your website by using the image element. So we kind of use that in the other one where I had a picture of San Francisco. I think I can re-show it again. Oh, actually, it was here. Hold on. So that was done with an image element, and for this, we're gonna use an image. So you can add images to your website by using the image element. Image elements have an opening tag without a closing tag. A tag for an element without a closing tag is known as a self-closing tag. Add an image element below the P element. At this point, no image will show up in the browser. So right now, it's just asking for the image element. Yeah, that's literally what it was asking to do. So HTML attributes are special words used inside the opening tag of an element to control the element's behavior. The source attribute, and we use that I didn't mention it too much, but we used it. Attribute in an image element specifies the image's URL, where the image is located. An example of an image element using the source attribute is, this. So I guess, so here's what this would do. It would find this image on this website and display it. That's what it would do. Before, I just used a picture. It was I think it was of the Golden Gate Bridge, and that was because it was in the same folder as the as a website itself. So when it's ever in the same folder as a website itself, you can just actually type in the file name, and that's what you can do. So now it's saying inside the this image element, make a source. All right, let's make the source, and let's use this let's use this URL. And let's see what happens. So now we have the picture. Let's check the code. Congratulations, your code passes. Submit your code to continue. Actually, I'm gonna check in chat. Alright, so, yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. It's just a source. It's like the source of the image, pretty much. Now, step 9. All image elements should have an alt attribute. The alt attribute, so yes, basically, what this is instead of an image, like let's say the image doesn't work or the browser doesn't read images, or it could be many reasons. It'll actually be another text you'll be able to choose. It won't be it won't be an image, but it would be the placeholder of where the image is. So, yeah, so we can try that. Hold on. Yeah, so basically, how this would work would be if this image wasn't there, it would display this text. So, I'm not sure if maybe I could mess this up a little bit. So this is what would happen if it can't find the image. So I deliberately put a 5 there. To make it so it doesn't find the image. But this is the purpose of the alt tag is. If it doesn't recognize the image, if it doesn't find the image, it'll display a placeholder of that image, basically. But now that we are able to, we have the image. Submit. Go to next challenge. So step 10. You can link another page with the anchor element. For example, so this is for links. Href, this website would link to Freecodecamp.org. Add an anchor element after the paragraph that links to free. Yeah. So let's let's do this. So add an anchor element after the paragraph that links to after the paragraph that links to that. Okay. Alright, so let's use this an anchor element after. At this point, the link won't show up in the preview. Yeah, it won't. So we put a link, but there's nothing to actually click on it, which is a problem. So the only way for that to work is if we have a. So this is a link, basically, and if I open this link in a new tab, then it opens up whatever. I think this is what we're actually ultimately going to create. That's the kind of the end result of the tutorial, I think. But the tutorial is not asking us to have anything in between, but I think that's what they're probably going to talk about after. We're going to check the code. Congratulations, the code passes. So I'll go to the next challenge. So step 11. A link's text must be placed between the opening and closing tags of an anchor element. For example, yeah, so that's exactly what we're going to be covering. Okay. So what they're basically saying is this is the text. So with this link, this is a text that'll show up so that they'll click on this to access this. So I think it's going to be an example of that. So it's asking us to add the anchor text cat photos to the anchor element. This will become the link's text. So let's take that text and put it there. Now they have something to click on, where before they didn't have something to click on. So let's I don't want to do that. I'll link to another tab. Yeah, so it basically just did the same thing. Alright, now we're going to see if it passed the test. So it says, congratulations, your code passes. Submit your code to continue. So that's for links, if you're trying to have a link in your website. So then this is the next part. This is step 12. You can see the words cat photos underlined next to the image in the preview now. That's your link. Feel free to give it a click. In the text of your P element, turn the words cat photos into a link to this. When you're done, remove the old anchor tag and text below the paragraph. Okay, So let's do this. Cat photos underlined. Okay, so when you're done, remove the old. Okay, I see what you're saying. Just one moment. So I want to make sure, is it asking to turn this into a link? In the text of your P element, turn the words cat photos into a link. Cat photos is already a link. Alright, I'm just gonna see if I think it's asking to do this. Moment. Your code should only contain one anchor A element. Oh, I think it was asking me to get rid of this. Anchor A element should be nested within the P element. Okay. Okay. So it wants. So hold on. Just one. So I had to fix my mic. Hold on. So that I think this should work. Code should only contain one anchor element. Oh, okay, hold on. Links text should be cat photos. After nesting the anchor A element, the only P element kind of invisible in the browser should be, click here to view more cat photos. You're missing open A, you have a closed A. Oh no, the open A is right here. You mean nesting this? Yeah, I don't know what it's asking me to do. Alright, so it says you can see the words cat photos underlined. Only put the A around cat photos, not the whole sentence. Oh, okay. Actually, I see what you're saying now. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I did that. Okay, yeah, so now it passes. So it was just that period. Alright. So it's kind of a misunderstanding I had. I wasn't really sure what it was asking me. But what it was asking is to make cat photos a link, just the word cat photos. So before, it would have the entire thing a link, but it would just want the word cat photos in the sentence have uh, to have the link. So so if we did click on that another tab, that would work. Yes, one moment. I have to test my mic, change my mic. Okay, that's good. Alright, so now we're going to the next one, step 13. Add a target attribute with the value. Alright, right here. to the anchor elements opening tag so that the link opens in a new tab. Okay. It's gonna be, so an attribute, hold on. So let's actually see this just as to work, and then I'll explain. All right, so so basically this is so just in general, what an attribute is, I want to kind of make a point about this. So we're gonna go back to the notepad if we can. So if you remember this is an attribute because it's basically like a property that you set about the image element. So you have this image element, and then within that image element, there's it can be anything, but in this case, it was the source of the image. But that's pretty much what it is. It's kind of like a property of it, and then you set it. So that's what it is. Alright, so that's all I was asking. So in this situation, the target attribute will actually open this image in another tab. Yeah, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk losing everything. So, yeah. But that's what it would do. Turn the image into a link by surrounding it with necessary element tags. So basically it's like, I'll actually go back to the other example is anything inside the link. So not just text can be a link. So let's say I have an anchor bracket right here. All right, and we'll close it off here. Now, this image itself is a link. So before it was just this, this piece of text, which we're kind of used to a text link. But here, if you click on the photo, that's a link. Hold on. And it would open up a new tab. But yeah, that's what they mean by making the photo a link. Is anything inside the anchor brackets, whatever is in that will be a link. So even if it's an image, whatever it is, so that's how that works. So let's move on. Alright, so congratulations, your code passes. Submit your code to continue. Step 15. Before adding any new content, you should make use of the section element to separate the cat photos content from the feature content. Take all the elements currently located within the main element and nest them in the section element. So I think that's what it's asking to do, to make the section in the main. In the main and nest them into the section element. Well, these are all the elements that are in the main, though. Oh. I think this is a typo. Yeah. So this just wanted, just to put this element and this element. So now these two are nested. So that's step 15. That says before adding any new content, you should make use of the section element to separate the cat photos content from the feature content. That says submit, go to the next challenge. So now step 16. It is time to add a new section, add a second section element below the existing section element. Alright. So right here. I think that's all it asked me to do. Yep, that's literally all it was asking me to do. So I made another section. One moment. Alright. With the second section, add a new H2 with the text cat lists. Alright. So H2. Cat lists. So, so it says congratulations, your code passed. Submit your code to continue. Alright. Alright, so step 18. it says when you add a lower rank heading element to the page, it's implied that you're starting a new subsection. After the last H2 element of the second section element, add an H3 element with this text. Okay. And yeah, that's what we talked about with that. The header elements. Where it's kind of like, if this is priority number 2, this is going to be like priority number 3. So there's the element, there's a text, here's a text. And let's see if that's what they wanted. Congratulations, your code passed. Alright, so basically it was going to make the point that so this corresponds to this code, and this is smaller than this. Let's say I switched it, which it would be kind of a backwards thing to do, to have the smaller one before. But let's just kind of switch it, then the smaller one is up top and then the bigger one is below. Or let's say I made it H1, right? Let's say I made it H1, and then I made this H3. This is going to be way smaller. But let's go back. Let's just make it. Let's just not mess anything up, and that's pretty much what it was asking. So we'll move on. So step 19, after the H3 element with the things cats love text, that's right here. So it's just referring to this. Add an unordered list UL element. Note that nothing will be displayed at this point. Okay. Yep, so that's all it was asking. And, it'll explain more. So, use a list item elements to create items in a list. Here's an example of list items in an unordered list. Alright. Use a list within the UL elements nest 3 list items to display 3 cat things love. Alright, so basically it's saying that it's saying make the first list item. So this is like the first list item of this unordered list, and this is the second list item of this unordered list. And what it's asking is to basically make this the first list item of this unordered list, and this the second list item of this unordered list, and this list item of this unordered list. So let's just do that right now. So we have the list item. We're going to have 3, so let's just copy and paste it. Actually, let's not. Let's just go through the process. That's for the second one. So, it wanted this text. it wanted this text here. It wanted this text here. And this wanted this text here. So let's test it out. And we did. It's an unordered list, so it's going to be bullet points. But that's the list right there. So that's what it is. So this code created this result. Alright, so now step 21. After the unordered list, add a new image with the source attribute value set to this. And this will be the L. Okay. So how we'll do that, this image, and this is the source. So they're giving you the source. This is where the image is on the internet. And see, Alt, slice of lasagna on a plate, right here. Congratulations. So basically what this did was, it after the unordered list, we have a picture of food, but let's say it can't find it, so I'm just going to put a random 5 here. It'll say, instead, and as an alternative to the image, it'll say a message, slice of lasagna in a place. It'll describe, and what it should do is it should describe what the image is, in case their browser can't load it. But let's fix the typo here so we have the image. All right. So I think it moved me on to the next step, actually. Step 22. The figure element represents self-contained content and will allow you to associate the image with a caption. The figure element represents self-contained content and will allow you to associate the image with a caption. Nest the image you just added with the figure element. Alright, so just going to put that here. Oh, It's a typo. So yeah, so we're going to learn about this element. So, let's just have a little space here. So it says a figure caption, fig caption element is used to add a caption to the described image contained within the figure element. For example, I guess this is a fig caption element. Adds a caption qcat to the image. After the image nested in the figure element, add a fig caption element. Alright. And we'll set this to cats love lasagna. So I have to put it alright. It's right here. It's gonna be say fig caption. Oh, we're using the wrong text. I copied the old code. Hold on. Alright, so what this does, so this is the image that this is corresponding to. So this picture of lasagna, that's the image, and this is like a caption. So if you would want, if it's an HTML5 and you want it to be aligned where there's a caption designated to the image, that's how you do it. You could kind of make it so you have this effect. You could, I guess, put like regular ordinary text inside of it, but it won't recognize it as if it's actually associated. Alright, so it's like it says a word love in the fig caption element by wrapping it in an emphasis EM element. Alright, so this is let me find it. Alright, so this is so if you see something that stands out about the font here. And that's going to be because of the emphasis tag. So if I did it here, you can actually watch it change in real time. Now there's one right here too. But it's just asking for one. I just want to do that as an example. So that code should work. Alright, step 24. Emphasize the word love in Fig Caption. Yep, that's pretty much what it should be doing. After the figure element, add another H3 element with the text, top 3 things cats hate. Alright, so I think that's all it's going to ask me to do. There should be an H3 element right above the second section. Make sure it has the open and closing tag. Oh, okay. I think they said they wanted that right there. Alright, yep. So yeah, so now we're continuing on the website. Step 26. The code for an ordered list, OL, is similar. So this is going to be a list, but it's not going to be bullet points. It's going to be numbered. The code for an ordered list, OL, is similar to an unordered list, but list items in an ordered list are numbered when displayed. After the second section, elements last H3 element. Add an ordered list with these 3 list items. Alright, so let's just go back to what it's saying. After the second section, elements last H3 element. Okay. So this is the second section's last H3 element. So that should be this. Add an ordered list with these list items. So we use OL. So the first one is flayed treatment. I kind of want to show as it's being created. Alright, so if you notice already that it says 1 flayed treatment. So this is an ordered list, and the first element in a list, and it's number 1, right here. Whereas in an unordered list, it's bullet points. But this is an ordered list, so it's a number. This is a second list item. This is going to be the third list item. And that should be what they told me to do. So congratulations, your code passes. So if you look at it, it goes from 1, 2, 3, whereas they were just bullet points in an unordered list. So this is an unordered list. So it's gonna have like things cats love in an unordered list, and top things cats hate in an ordered list right here. I think we're gonna go until about midnight. That's when I'm gonna cut it off. Or maybe I actually ended off here. Not sure. I think we'll go up to step 30 just to break even. Alright, so after the ordered list, add another figure element. So after the ordered list, make another figure element. That should be simple. And that's all it asks. Congratulations, your code passes. Submit your code to continue. Inside the figure element you just added, nest the image element with a source here. Okay. So let's get an image. Let's get an image going. Yeah, so also images have like self-closing tags. So if you notice, this is just all closed. Like this, it takes 2 tags to close, to open, and then close here. But this, it can be started here, and because it has this ending thing right here, that just makes it so that it can open and close itself. So that's the source. That should be what it asked me to do. So it's saying, congratulations, your code passes. Submit your code to continue. Step 29. And then we're going to end it at 30 for today. To improve accessibility of the image you just added, add an alt attribute to the text. Okay. So we'll add an alt right here. Alright, let's alright, let's just see. Alright. I think we did it. Alright, so now if that image didn't work, just put a random 5 here. It would say 5 cats looking around on a field instead of the image. But if the image is there, then it will just show the 5 cats. So let's go to the last challenge. Alright, this is going to be the last one. After the last image element, add a fig caption element with the text. After the last image element, add a fig caption. Alright. You can do that. Fig caption. Cats hate other cats. Alright, congratulations, your code passes. Submit your code. So this is the caption. So this corresponds to this code. And that's a caption for this image. So this cap is a caption for this image. This is a caption for this image. This is the same code. So we're going to end it at 30, but you know, kind of started messing around with basic HTML, what it does, and then we're going to move on to other topics in the next tutorial. Yeah, so we're going to be using Freecodecamp in the future, and to progress, and then eventually we're going to build the ImpCamp website, and I'm going to kind of build it as I'm going to kind of stream as I build it and show what I'm doing. And that's going to be it.